Can't skip a leg day. I've been skipping a leg day for 2 months.
First week of classes.
Hey peeps. So I wrapped up my first week of classes. I'm walking through campus right now and it's actually super empty because it's like 6 p.m. so far. And no one's here at this time. Just like a few stragglers. But I figured I'd take this opportunity to recap my week. First week, that is. I've done like about a week and a half now. And it's been pretty good. I've been staying on task. It's been certainly overwhelming considering I've moved out now. It's like, in addition to classes, you have to do everything that is like adulting, you know? So that's like one of the biggest things. So, yeah.
All right, y'all. Today is August 24th. It's my boy Tyler.
What's up?
He's my roommate. And we're on our way to the welcoming ceremony for the class of 2024 and the transfer students. This is Cooper Field over at Georgetown, and we're rolling kind of deep right now, which is nice. I don't really know what building that is over there, but it is a building. Yeah, so how are you liking the first couple days, man?
First couple days are lit on campus. Parties are gonna start soon.
We were driving around the
Cafeteria food's okay. I don't know.
you know, there's not much you can do about cafeteria food, but it gets the job done, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up. But yeah, I don't quite know what they have planned besides some speeches, but it's looking like fun. So I'll check in with y'all later. So as y'all can see, there is a crap ton of people here. This is a barbecue for new student orientation. Although ours was last year, we're definitely gonna get some food in because food is food and it's free. So why not? Good morning, or whenever you're watching this. So today is August 25th, 2021. The time is 8:35 a.m. and it's my first day of classes here at Georgetown, or first day of classes for my sophomore year. And I spent the last hour or so eating, and I'm gonna spend the next 30 minutes to an hour just locating my classes. So my second class of the day takes place here at the Rice building, or Race. I don't quite know how it's pronounced. And I'm on room 502. So right now we're going up the steps up here. And my first class is actually Spanish, which is completely online. But I want to be located close to my next class because it's on. Only got 10 minutes between classes. Oh, there's an elevator. That would have been nice to take. Well, we're taking the stairs.
Kids speeding here. Anyway, so something I'm looking forward to, or two things that I'm looking forward to this year, are being more involved in school and activities. You know, I've taken this or been in the school online for a lot of time, and now to like see people and like see clubs and stuff. Like yesterday, I went on this journey to find this little hall building. It's called Little Hall. Really, it's not little at all. Probably put a picture up. And there was a meeting there for this club called MedLife, where they take trips and do different things. You know, super cool. I actually got featured in the Instagram post. I was like in the middle of the crowd. I don't know if y'all can see me. That's certainly something I'm looking forward to, just being more involved. I also applied for a position in, it's called Medigators. Sounds like meditators. Medigators, where it's like a shadowing program for pre-med students. But it's virtual, so it lets you kind of shadow a variety of specialists in medical fields and get at least 40 plus hours of shadowing while also like covering different fields, which is like a limiting factor in shadowing most of the time because I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, definitely. So it's like a limiting factor most of the time because you usually get to shadow one physician and that's about it for like a certain amount of weeks, while in this program you can shadow a variety of them. So that's why I found it super cool, and I saw that it had positions open, so I applied. I got an email today. It's like a 2-step procedure. where I did the first application, and then, they follow up with an interview. And there's an email sent out today that there's overwhelming amounts of applicants, although my application was pretty fire, not gonna lie. So like later today, maybe in this video, you'll know if I did get into the second part interview. So we'll see about that. So yeah, one of the things for me is definitely being more involved.
So between my second class of the day, African American religions, and my third class of the day, existentialism, there's about a 7 to 8 minute walk. And there's 15 minutes between classes. So even if class ends on time, I'm booking it in order to make it on to class on time. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I literally have to get outside of the gates in order to go from the Rice building where African American religions is to the Walsh building where existentialism is. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like a sustainable, practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I gotta stay later after class? What if you hear the cicadas? What if I don't know, need to grab some? What if I pass out? Who knows? So, that's something to consider. But hey, look at this building. Hey, so this is my friend Eli. I met him last year during New Student Orientation, and he's been one of my most consistent folks that I know over at Georgetown. So big shout out to Eli. He's a really cool guy, and I'm glad that he's appearing in one of our episodes. Alright, y'all, so today is August 28th. It's 12:19 p.m. and this is the cab fair, otherwise known as the club fair, where basically all the clubs and organizations and things like that come out to Copley Hall or Copley Yard, I might be totally wrong about that, and just take out everything. They're just, people getting information, people sharing, people vibing, making connections. Yeah, and this is part one. There's supposed to be a part two soon. You can see people in the distance getting a tour, but yeah.
So I made it to the library, and this is one of our quiet study areas. The reason I'm talking is because there's nobody here, as you can tell. But what I like to do when I go to any public space to work is work where people can see what I'm doing. Most people won't be paying attention because privacy is a thing, but just so I can hold myself accountable, so I'm not looking on, Instagram or YouTube, and it's like, you know what, let me not bullcrap my way around my work. So maybe a little strategy for when you're at the library and you're still not getting work done.
So quick thing, I'm super grateful for this bell tower, or sentry tower as it's called, because it's just such a good marker to locate where you are. So yeah, sentry tower is definitely something that's super useful to locating where you're going. So fun fact, if you go to UF, locate the tower and it'll tell you where to go. Most of the walks here are very long, not gonna lie. So that's why I ordered a skateboard, penny board actually. I don't know how to ride one, never did, but I think I'm gonna record myself learning how to ride one and make that into some content, because that should be hilarious. But if I can nail it, then I could travel pretty efficiently around here, so we're gonna see how that goes. So actually, funny story of the week. I've been saying the term fair enough quite frequently. I don't know why it stuck with me, but it did. And I'm like, fair enough, just at the end of anything. So in one of my lectures, I was saying it repeatedly, after, certain slides, certain concepts. I'm like, fair enough. I understood, right? Instead of understood, fair enough. And I was the only one saying it, but the professor seemed like he was taking it pretty lightly. So of course I continued. I got to the point where I guess he found it amusing. And then after a certain concept that he was covering that was super difficult, and he had to go over it 2 times or 3 times, he went at the end of it fair enough, and then I just started cracking up, and I'm like, fair enough. And he made eye contact with me too while he said it, so it was just a joke. So yeah, the professors here are certainly like direct and straight to the point with the content and, you know, lectures and all that, which is of course very important, but also like lighthearted at times and like very open and friendly if you get to know him. So yeah.
All right, y'all. Right now it's about 7:30 in the morning, September 2nd. I'm on my way to Yates Fieldhouse, the gym/sports facility. And one thing I forgot about in the Mid-Atlantic that's very different than South Florida is that y'all have cool summers. It's cold outside. For me it is. It's like in the mid-60s probably. I don't know. Maybe not that cold, but still, it's cold. Morning. So we're on our way. It's my second day doing a formal workout. Today's leg day. Can't skip a leg day. I've been skipping a leg day for 2 months. So we gotta make it happen.
So I took a bit of a detour today after class and after checking a car barn, and behind me you can see Lounger Library, but in front of me I don't know what this leaf is. I would love to identify what tree this is attached to, but I've never seen a leaf shaped like this. It's almost like a blade, like a curved little blade or something. It's cool. It's really cool.
So the second thing I'm also looking forward to is getting to upper level coursework. Like I've been doing like general stuff thus far with like pre-med requirements and whatnot, but like I'm very excited to get to my major type coursework. My major right now is biochemistry, and right now I'm still doing like basic general chemistry and general biology. But once I get past that, which will be very soon, I look forward to getting to like it's more like intensive but also engaging content that is more like applicable to like real things and real stuff, and also like doing research and stuff. And that goes back to me saying that I want to be more involved. So yeah, that's very exciting stuff. And yeah, plus bonus, I look forward to just being in this ambience of brick college life. That's one thing that I love. It's like that really like woodsy, collegey, vibey thing, you know, as you can see in the background, which is what I love about this place so far. So yeah.
So I'm at the Green Open House. Hey Marcus, what's up? But yeah, this is the coolest open house format I've seen. So Green at Georgetown is the Georgetown Renewable Energy and Environmental Network, and it's our main environmental organization here on campus. And there's different committees, which is why you see people in groups. So like here, this is the welcome, and then there's like environmental justice with Marcus. Back here we saw Brooke and the others for education. We've got a B group somewhere over there, and a bunch of other stuff. So like, yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, the one most overwhelming thing thus far has been the coursework and just adulting things. I have a pretty tight, heavy schedule this fall. Just a means of, you know, getting credits out of the way and basic requirements out of the way to get to like the heavier stuff. So like scheduling everything out, like actually it took me like 5 hours the other day to just schedule everything out, get all the dates down and stuff like that. Super worth it though at the end of the day. It's like one less thing I have to worry about, just having everything organized. Oh, there's the bell. So yeah, definitely one thing is like just the overall coursework and having to be organized, and also just like general like keeping myself fed, making sure the chores are done as well, you know, not living on my own and stuff. So that's definitely been one of the most overwhelming things, but also I feel like I've been adapting to it pretty well, and I think I'll keep doing so as time keeps going on. Okay, so I unintentionally timed this kind of perfectly. I'm arriving to the library now, and I'm gonna end off by saying a few tips that I've learned so far, and that would be 1, stay organized. Time management is key. Like bus rides take longer than you expect always. Cooking takes longer than you expect. Grocery shopping, all that stuff, that takes time, so you have to plan that stuff out. Schedule your courses and give yourself some flexibility in case you fall behind on something, because then you could just throw your whole day off. What else? Ooh, and a really important one, be friendly to people when you arrive to campus or when you're first meeting people. Literally just saying like hi or hello to anyone at any given point, be surprised at how friendly people are. So just like say hi and see how it goes, and make acquaintances in class, which will be really helpful when you need help with coursework and stuff. So yeah, that's my advice. Here's Library West. Now let's get to work.
So, as far as the most overwhelming aspect of the college experience thus far, gotta say the loneliness. I touched upon this in our second video, which you should check out, but it can be very lonely. And I've only been on campus for a very short amount of time. But it's very easy to feel lonely. I mean, every aspect of life here on campus, from studying to eating to socializing, club events, all the things, people are doing them together. And that's not every single person, but people do as people do. They socialize. That's one of the main draws of having in-person learning again. And it's not just learning, but it's in-person living. So not having a friend group to root to yet is definitely very isolating. My whole life I've never been a very big like friend group person. Like I never, maybe perhaps in eighth grade, but besides that, like I never had like a group, right, where I just like I did all the things with those people. I've always had friends, right? I've always been a very social person for the most part, but the idea of a friend group that I study with and I eat with and I go to their houses is not something that I've always resonated with, for no particular reason, just not my style. I like to kind of do things on a more individual basis most times. But yeah, that is it. That stuff can hit, man. I be vibing, doing great. I'm in my head, and then I just see people living and doing all the things. I'm like, dang, I want that. I don't know. I don't know if it's like something I'm doing wrong, or perhaps people are putting more effort into socializing, right? Because I have to admit it hasn't been the top of my priorities. But whatever the case may be, that isolation do be hitting. And the last thing I want to note is I don't smoke or drink. Uh, that's just a personal choice of mine. I don't judge people that do. Um, and if you so choose to do that as a college student, I would just advise you to do so safely, responsibly, and always be in a space where you feel safe. But I don't smoke or drink, and that puts a lot of pressure because, I'm recording this on a Friday, and I was on a scooter going around Georgetown and a bit of DC. I just saw people coming around, coming to and from bars, having a good time. Some people smoking, and it's a real pressure, right? Like I'm not even having anybody near me. Like no one near me is like, "Yo, man, you want to drink?" Like none of that, and I'm like, "Dang, I really would like to socialize and have a good time." I have no interest in smoking or drinking. But that pressure is there, right? So on top of the fact that I'm not a big friend group person, and on top of the fact that I haven't been here for a while, I've also got to deal with the internal and external pressures of not being someone who wants to smoke or drink, right? And that's totally okay. That is totally okay. I'm just saying for anybody who doesn't want to smoke or drink or party, I'm not a party person, that's okay. You just have to find other ways to socialize.
Y'all, we're back at it again with some quick snaps with Franco. Here was a slug that I saw, a squirrel, which was a thick boy. The wildlife in Gainesville has actually been more apparent than I've seen it in other places. Maybe it's because it's more rural. Also, bonus tip, just look at this 100% rain chance. Always carry an umbrella with you. I ended up buying a little small umbrella before I left on Amazon. It was super cheap and it fits in my bag, and honestly it's been like the most clutch thing. It was raining like all day the other day, and I actually dropped my bottle and did some damage, as you see, which is kind of sad, but I cheered myself up with some homemade lunch that was actually pretty yummy. Then later in the day we went to get donuts, the only Krispy Kreme in town, and it was so worth it. This is my favorite donut. It's like the chocolate cake glazed donut. I just like chocolate, and yeah, it was so good. And yeah, otherwise, here's me having to do an assignment by taking a picture of myself getting ready for a lab, and also just waiting for the bus, which is something that I do a lot, and I just kind of vibe.
So as far as tips I have for first year students, I have 3. The first is resisting the urge to isolate. The second is staying up to date with financial matters. And third is developing a keystone habit. So first, resist the urge to isolate. It can be really attractive to remove yourself from social circles for a variety of reasons. One of which is people are messy. You know, there's just a lot of stuff going on with people. Everyone's got their, idiosyncrasies, and sometimes it's just easier not to deal with them. And also, we all have our individual insecurities and doubts and fears and anxieties. I got all of them, right? Like I mentioned. But tapping into all of those things rather than leaning in to other people, it's not the move. And as difficult as it may be, it's important to push yourself so that you can connect with people, form friendships, and really find a community wherever you're at. As far as financial matters, right? Put deadlines and application things and amounts into Google Calendar, right? Find out when FAFSA opens, find out when the CSS profile opens if that's applicable in your situation, find out how much you need to pay for each semester, right? And it's never too late to do this, kind of, right? If you haven't done it yet, if you've been avoiding it like I did for much of my first year in college, it's understandable, but make sure you confront the deadlines and amounts. It can be overwhelming, so you gotta ask questions. Ask your financial aid officer. Ask your parents if they're supportive. Ask friends, see what they're doing. But, don't avoid these things. Jordan Peterson said, conflict avoided is conflict multiplied. Don't know if that's his quote, but I do know that's where I found it. So yeah, stay up to date with those matters. And lastly, you gotta develop a keystone habit. I'll quickly define it based on something that James Duhigg came up with. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was the one who coined the term. He's the author of The Power of Habit. A keystone habit is a core behavior that, when followed, creates other positive behaviors in different areas of life. Oh, that's it. For me, my keystone habit is working out. So, 3 to 5 times a week, I'm exercising most of the time just right on the floor because I do a lot of calisthenics. Y'all don't need to know that. But having a keystone habit, something that you can do consistently on a day-to-day basis, gives you something to center your life around, right? Even when I wasn't studying as much as I needed to or sleeping as much as I needed to, working out helped me stay healthy, both mentally and physically. So whether it's working out, meditating, journaling, or something else, developing a keystone habit will be critical for, keeping your life in order.
Before we close out, we'd like to give a special thank you to everyone who commented on our last video. So, thank you Miss Hadabisi, Brianna, Diana, Daniel, Consuelo, Brianna again, and Big Balls Raz. Y'all are great.
So until next time, pursue your purpose, deepen your perspective, and share your journey down below.